All right, people. It is time for some more connections. Yeah, I know it almost feels a bit surreal to be going about normal life and playing word games when the world is in such an odd and distressing state. But honestly, I think that's all the more reason to do little things that bring little bits of joy into our lives. And connections certainly is such a thing for me and for a lot of other people as well. So let's not think about the bad stuff for about the next 10 minutes or so. And let's just focus on trying to get this puzzle done. As you can see, I've kept my streak alive. My streak is now 66, which I think is also my longest streak, and I don't know what Malwarebytes is whining about. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, so let's get rid of that. All right. Right, boys. Let's go into this. Let's go into this and see. Johannesburger. Well, already I see like knuckle sandwich, Johannesburger. Well, the problem is that it's a little bit too obvious. Is it Johannes or is it Johannesburg? The place in South Africa, I assume. All right. So luggage, tool belt, copy pasta, Johannesburger. Order. Smiling face with sunglasses is obviously a an emoji. So is a palm tree. But then airplane. I'm not. This is getting canapé. Hard hat, tool belt, nail gun, and what else? Ladder? Like, these are things you'd find at a work site. Let's tentatively put that in. But I'm not at all confident in that. Okay, so I think we might have like finger food, tapa, canapé, hors d'oeuvres, or like appetizers maybe. Let's fucking French. What even is this word? Anyway, tapa and canapé. I'm not putting in the accent, fuck you. Right. What's left? A lot. The answer is a lot of weird fucking shit. Knuckle sandwich, Johannes. Surely it's not gonna be like just ending with food item, right? Surely that's not gonna be the. Surely that's not gonna be it. But if that is it, then that means the last ones are gonna be smiling face with sunglasses. These are some long ass, uh, like I don't even know what the individual tiles are called. They're not really clues. They're just entries, like tiles. I'm just gonna call them tiles. Smiling face with sunglasses, airplane, palm tree, and luggage. Man, that doesn't that doesn't make sense, man. Airplane, palm tree. Okay, I mean, I guess luggage could be Like a suitcase could be an emoji. I don't know, man. Something feels weird about this. But let's think about this. This is what our initial pass through the puzzle has landed us at. Hard hat, ladder, tool belt, nail gun, finger food, hors d'oeuvre, tapa, canapé. Let's just fix this a little bit. All right. Smiling face with sunglasses, airplane, palm tree, luggage. It still could kind of go together. Um, man, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to mentally make any progress beyond this unless we start getting some feedback on how correct or incorrect this is. But the issue is this is going to give me very little information about what's going to be purple because this if this is correct could be purple. If this is correct, that could be purple. I'm going to take a gamble on the on this stuff being purple. Okay. Things that you don't eat that end in foods. That was so convoluted. Okay. And then this ergo seems like it could be correct. Vacation in Man, I don't know. Calling it luggage, I assume it's talking about the suitcase emoji, but I feel like this was a little bit mislabeled. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but luggage implies something very general and not some specific image as opposed to palm tree, right? Like imagine if instead of palm tree it had just said like tree, right? If instead of airplane it had just said like aircraft, right? That's how I feel about maybe again, maybe I'm nitpicking. Let's not dwell on that. Let's just get the next thing. And I think it's gonna be the appetizers. Man, come on, dude. It's so hard to figure, it's so hard to figure out the order of things because beyond a certain point, it becomes a complete random guess. There's no way to tell what's going to be green, what's going to be yellow, or sometimes what's going to be blue, what's going to be green, what's going to be yellow. Whatever, dude. Let's just whatever. I don't care anymore. 67 is also my longest streak. Uh, let's not let's not comment on the you know numerals because I'm glad that whole uh, uh, trend is over. Let's take a look at the um yeah. I mean, I should have taken a guess as to what the solvent was going to be. I would have guessed. I'm not gonna pretend like I was gonna guess that it was gonna be in the 90s. I was probably gonna guess it, like at least in the 70s, but I'm not surprised that it's in the 90s. Because the categories were weird, and it almost seemed so easy that you started psyching yourself out and be like, no, it can't be this easy. I'm clearly falling for some red herring. 98 out of 99. It hurts, man. It hurts. Were there any red herrings? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like not a lot of people were going for the reverse rainbow. Even though purple I thought was one of the easier categories to find. You saw it instantly. You saw it so quickly that you then became convinced. it had to be a red herring, but you know, it wasn't a red herring. All right, I think we've seen enough. I have already done all of the crosswords, including the new MIDI that they've brought out. Maybe, you know what? Maybe next time I'll leave the MIDI to do after the connections. I've also done strands. I'm retired from Wordle. I'm not playing Wordle anymore, but I've played connections. I've played strands. I've played spelling bee, but only gotten up until genius. I might play that later on my own later today. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, and this video is now more than 10 minutes long. And I think it is time for us to wrap it up. Puzzle successfully solved, streak successfully extended. Hopefully, I can keep it intact, and hopefully, when you see this next week, the streak will be into the 70s. Looking forward to that. And until then, take care.